Thank you, Jim. I too have also spent most of my adult life as a Republican. I've always believed in smaller, more responsible and transparent government. But as an immigrant who fled war-torn Lebanon as a child, I cannot imagine being separated from my mom and dad after losing our home in a war and entering a strange country. And while I support border security, I feel that the Republican Party has strayed too far from the immigrant welcoming days of Nixon, Reagan, and Bush. It strayed too far from our family ideals. It strayed too far from being the party of moral leadership. So I can no longer stand by and watch our president and our Congress treat immigrants inhumanely and separating children from their families so callously. Today, I'm changing my registration to no party preference. I have not changed my beliefs in any way, and I will remain the person who is staunchly anti-tax and staunchly for more responsible and transparent government. I have not left the party. I feel that the party has left me. Now we'll take any questions.
I stood on this very spot nearly 2 years ago and denounced Donald Trump, who was at that time the Republican nominee for president. I literally lost sleep for weeks after he was elected. And over the last year and a half, many of my fears about a Trump presidency have been realized. When Trump began dismantling the DACA program, I supported our city's lawsuit against the administration and waited expectantly for the national Republican leaders to speak up and do something. When Trump equated neo-Nazis and civil rights advocates by saying there were good people on both sides, I was angry that the party of Lincoln was being denigrated and waited anxiously for national Republican leaders to speak up and do something. When Trump began threatening new tariffs and making enemies of our allies, I agonized over the future of our economy and our national security, and waited impatiently for national Republican leaders to speak up and do something. But when Trump began separating asylum seekers from their children at the border, I could no longer wait for national Republican leaders to speak up and do something. A few weeks ago, Vice Mayor Carrasco brought the issue to the Rules Committee, and I spoke up. As a mother, as a former foster parent, as an adoptive parent, I could not bear to see or even think about the unnecessary and traumatizing separation of children from their parents. But we must think about it, because it happened. Over 2,000 children were needlessly separated from their parents in less than 2 months following the advent of the Trump administration's zero-tolerance immigration policy. And now, after bowing to bipartisan pressure to stop the practice of separating children from their parents, there is still no plan to reunify these families. Just last night, I read an essay by a clinician who evaluated an 8-year-old boy who had been separated from his parents for a month. He did not know when he was going to be reunified with them, and he was suicidal. The damage has been done to a whole generation of children. And this is not the Republican Party that I joined. The Republican Party I joined stood for freedom over tyranny, fiscal responsibility, free trade, national security. But most importantly, the Republican Party I joined recognized the importance of families. I still hold these values, but the Republican Party, the National Party, no longer does. My views and my political philosophy have not changed, but the National Party has changed for the worst. That is why, as of today, I am no longer a member of the Republican Party. I want to be clear, I am leaving the Republican Party because of the dearth of true leadership at the national level. The local Republican Party and its leaders have been welcoming and accepting of people like me who are fiscally responsible and more socially moderate. They have been fantastic to work with, and I would have left the party long ago had it not been for them. There are many local Republicans who feel the same way I do about the National Party and are working to change it from within. I wish them the best of luck, and I truly hope they are successful. However, I cannot join them in that work. My focus needs to be on serving the residents of District 6 and the rest of San Jose. That is what I will be doing for the rest of my time at City Hall. Next, you will hear from Jim Cunneen.
Thank you, Deb, and I think after that powerful statement, we'll just go directly to questions. I think it's a real honor to have a chance to stand with two emerging, promising, strong leaders of the city of San Jose, Deb and Johnny. As you know, I won my last re-election to state assembly in 1988, lost a congressional race in 2000. But what that makes me is the last elected Republican for partisan office, having a Republican under their name in 1998 from a district wholly encompassed within Santa Clara County. I want to start by expressing my gratitude to the Republican Party for all it's done for me spanning 4 decades, and share that I will never regret the many contributions that I have made to the party over that time as a campaign volunteer, president of the Santa Clara County Young Republicans, a top aide to Republican office holders Tom Campbell, Becky Morgan, and Ed Schau, a state assemblyman and a delegate to a national Republican nominating convention. I still applaud the wonderful and good people who volunteer for our party at the state and local level. My actions today, like Deb's, are aimed at what has become of a once great party at the national level. In May, former House Speaker John Boehner captured it perfectly, saying, "There is no Republican Party. There is only a Trump Party." A cult of personality has infected the party we joined and loved. Many Republican friends now defend every criticism of President Trump, and many seem to cheer upon every exit of this once great party. They say Supreme Court appointments, tough border policies, tax cuts show that Trump is the right president for our times. I say, and I want to make this very clear, that no perceived policy victory is worth the bigotry, the lies, the near idolatry of world dictators, the mocking of the disabled, or the way he speaks of women. And President Trump pursues so many policies contrary to the tenets of a once great Republican Party. The forced separations of families at our borders is not conservative. It is indecent. Protectionism is a great lie that hurts consumers. Undermining law enforcement agencies is misguided. A foreign policy embracing enemies and shunning allies is reckless. This is Trumpism, and it is a great affliction to the national Republican Party in our country. But speaking out and standing up, and I have loudly since the day he came down those escalators in Trump Tower, only goes so far. You see, sometimes all you have, well, are the things only you can do. And so today, after 39 years and 1 month as a registered Republican, and after supporting every GOP nominee for president up to 2016 and governor up to 2018, every one of them, I am no longer a registered Republican. And now, Councilmember Johnny Khamis.